Hello there, my people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Vongi Kazamula. Please do subscribe, leave a comment, and share, and do like. Today, I wanted to talk about how the rental space has changed in the townships. I think from the experience that I've had before, the whole outlook of how the rental space has completely changed in backroom rentals. Before, people will have someone renting their back room simply because they were strapped for cash, or maybe they needed an extra income to be able to assist at home or with schooling of their children. But lately, people are doing it as a business. So I wanted to talk about the things that I've seen that affect landlords, that if landlords do not understand, they end up getting themselves into a tight position. For landlords, I believe that the first thing is to respect the space of your tenants. The people who mostly want to rent have reached that level of being adults, and the first thing that they require or they need or looking for when they come to you and ask for space to stay, it's simply because they want their own peace, they want their own privacy, they want to be respected. So for landlords, I think it is very important to know and understand that you need to give the people their own space. You need to give the people their own respect that they deserve. You need to to value people first before you can even think of having someone stay in your property, whether it's at your back room, whether it's in a place that you build specifically for rentals. You need to respect people's spaces. You need to treat them as adults. You need to give them their own peace and space. Another thing that I've seen as people are running away from people moving out of back rooms is because they are made to do errands for the landlord. You find the verandas, people, the landlord will be saying, you need to be cleaning the veranda, you need to be cleaning the yard. uh, most people work in Gauteng. People who are looking for places to stay, they work. So they normally don't have time to clean up the yard. They normally don't have time to clean the veranda where the landlord is staying. When I was still renting, I was asked to wash the windows. I was asked to clean the veranda. It was so disturbing for me because that should be something that comes as a responsibility from the landlord. So if you want to be a landlord and you want to be respected, you want to attract more customers towards your properties, you need to compensate. When you do charge for your rent, you need to compensate for the fact that you're going to need someone to clean up your own space. You can't expect the tenants to be cleaning for themselves inside their own rooms or inside their own house, and then they come outside and clean for you. Another thing that landlords needs to be clued up about is the number of tenants that they are accommodating per room, and that should be known upfront. You should know that upfront. You should find out and notify the tenants through the contracts. That's something else that landlords did not do before. People did not have a contract in place. So in your contracts, when you draft the contract, you should indicate the number of tenants that are allowed in your property. Why am I saying this? When you now pay the bills at the municipality, your rates can go up because of the number of people that are staying in your property. The water bill can run out of control. So you need to understand and tell your tenants the number of people that you will be able to accommodate, unless maybe if you have got water meters that are installed. But from what I'm learning around the area where I have got rental properties, people haven't figured out how to install water meters for back rooms. You know what I mean? So the nicest thing would be for you to stipulate that into the contract before the person moves in, that they you need to have a certain number of people. You have a cut for the number of people that they can accommodate in inside your rooms. This also, it will also prevent this idea of people who rent without telling you, and they rent out the property to somebody else. That I'll do in another video. I'll talk about it in another video. While I'm talking about the contract, it is very, very important for you as the landlord to familiarize yourself with your own contracts. Some people, you'll find that they've got a contract that they themselves don't understand, that they maybe they have an agent who drafted it for them, but they never go through the contract, and they don't understand what are their duties, what are their responsibilities that they are supposed to have as the landlord. So familiarize yourself, sit down with your tenants, explain the contract to them, what is expected from them. And also, I've noticed that to prevent damage to your property and some other things, it's best to take a deposit up front. I've realized that most tenants around Elokshini don't understand the idea of paying the deposit. I have to explain to most people that you need to pay deposit just so that if something is damaged by the time you move out, I need to repair it as the landlord. So it's very important as for landlords to have that deposit upfront, to have it also in the contract that you're going to pay the deposit, which some people don't refund based on what they find out, which is refundable if the person has treated the property well. There is nothing that is broken. The last tenant that I had that moved out from one of my properties, she broke my shower, and because there was the deposit, she decided to fix the shower before getting out. So it will save you money as the landlord. It prevents unnecessary frictions. If you already have got money that you are holding up front, that will prevent someone from taking you for granted, from breaking your stuff without you knowing. So these are the few things that landlords need to understand, especially if you are going to be running your property rental as a business. You need to understand what you are doing. You need to understand the space and the family structures that the people are coming from with, and also what are the limitations, what you are going to pay and what they are going to be paying. The other thing is making your properties very neat. People are no longer willing to compromise for that. I'll fix the door in next month, and you never fix it, and you advertise a room that is, it's like a dungeon that's dirty. People are willing to pay money for something that is very neat, for something that is they can see that you put your effort, you did your level best to make it livable for them. Another thing is bathrooms. Before, you would find a person has got rooms and the bathroom is outside, and it's a communal thing. This tip is very important. People buy or rent rooms very quickly when they find that they've got their own kitchen, when they find that they've got their own bathroom. So as a landlord, it is very, very important to consider, which is expensive. I know it's expensive to remodel your rooms, but you need to also consider what is going on around. You need to look around. You need to find out what other people are doing. What I'm saying, Elokshini, is that the people who are developing rental properties, they are very good at it. They make sure that they've got bathrooms inside, they make sure that they've got new tiling done. Sometimes they put even kitchenettes inside. So you need to look at what the market is giving out there, what the current market is doing, and also your prices. You shouldn't be just pricing simply because you have got a nice room, or you have got a nice bachelor. You need to look at what people are charging out there, what they have. You can ask other people. I said in one of the videos that sometimes it's best to share. Of course, some other people won't want to show you, but it's best to copy and see what other people are doing. Make sure that your rooms are very upkeep. Make sure that you do not make the tenants do things that will turn them off, and respect their space. So those are the few things that I wanted to share for landlords. In my next video, I'll be talking about things that tenants need to look out for, and they need to do to make sure that they are staying in other people's properties is good, and it's safe for them, and it serves their spirituality. Please do like, subscribe, and share with others. Do tell others that in this channel we're learning together, and I'll put a few clips of how far the building that we are sharing together is going. We'll be going for concrete pouring very soon.